The Pixel 7a has been the only phone that I have used in the last 2 weeks, testing it and making sure everything checks out. Now on the other hand, there is the Galaxy A54, Google's direct competition to the 7a. It is a great phone for the price and what it offers, however, it has its limitations. So because of that, I decided to switch to it full time and depend on nothing else. Now, I'm doing these things so you guys don't have to. So I'll be depending on the camera, its software, its performance, and overall viability to make sure everything checks out and it is a great phone. Now, during the course of this video, there will be subtle comparisons to the Pixel 7a because it's more or less a reference point since these two phones are duking it out for the best mid-range phone for 2023. Now, are we set? Let's go. Hey guys, I'm KJOS and the Galaxy A54 is a very interesting device. It is under $500, but from the back, it looks like a flagship phone. Now, as the average consumer, this looks like the Galaxy S23 or even the S23 Plus to be precise. Now, while I do love that Samsung has made the A series and the S series phones have the same design language, it does fall short in some aspects some people will care about if they're considering buying this phone. Now, for one, the A54 is considerably thicker and slightly heavier than the A53 from last year and even the Pixel 7a. It weighs 202 grams with an all-plastic frame that makes it hard to use one-handed if you have smaller hands. It is 6.4 inches tall, which gives more room for gaming and consuming content on your phone. A big addition over other mid-range devices is the glass back. Most mid-range phones like the Pixel 7a are plastic, but Samsung went a different approach and a different direction and gave it more of a premium look and feel to separate itself from its competition. There is no headphone jack, no surprise there. I mean, can we just go back to the days where mid-range phones were actually mid-range phones and gave us better value than the more expensive devices? I doubt it. At least the A54 is IP67 water and dust resistant and can be put under water for 30 minutes. I wouldn't try it though, but that's just me. Now the display is where the A54 begins to show its price. Let's just get this out of the way. There is not much of a difference between a 90Hz screen and a 120Hz screen, especially when it comes to a mid-range device. Now I know some people in the comments are going to tell me that I'm wrong or I don't know what I'm saying, but in real life practical use, the average consumer cannot tell the difference or won't even notice, and I don't think that should be a deal breaker if you want to buy this phone. If you're also into gaming, the A54 cannot provide high refresh gaming as the Exynos 1380 is not powerful enough to maintain 120 FPS in a lot of demanding games. That being said, the A54 will serve you a lot better because of its 6.4-inch AMOLED display. Now in other words, if you compare this to the Pixel 7a, there's not much of a difference. It's like Samsung and Google copied each other's blueprint, because if you look at the S23 and you look at the Pixel 7, you can see that the bezels are thinner and more symmetrical. Now with these ones, they really didn't care and just said, let's make sure this looks like a budget phone and let's move on. Before we get into performance and software, let's talk about the sponsor of this video, Software Keep. And I promise you, you're going to thank me. So if you're looking for a way to get Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, or even Excel without paying that 365-day subscription, Software Keep is your solution. And I'm talking about buying it once and having it forever. Software Keep provides digital software products for both Mac OS and Windows users. So like me that uses a Mac for my day-to-day workflow, this has come in handy. It saves customers 25% on price when compared, and they offer a 24/7 customer service. Now the best part, if you don't like the service that they have given you or you don't like the product, you have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So it's really a win-win situation. If this is something that you are interested in, tap the link in my bio now to get 20% off on your next purchase when you check out. And thank you to Software Keep for sponsoring this video. Now, let's get back into the performance and the software. On paper, the performance of the A54 is not the strongest when compared to other mid-range phones like the Pixel 7a. It has the Exynos 1380, and when you put it on paper, it performs worse than the Pixel 7a in single and multi-cores. But stats and numbers don't really tell the full story, because from my everyday use, I think the A54 has been pretty decent. There aren't any major hiccups or lags. The 120Hz is smooth, but I do feel it's closer to 90Hz than 120, but that's just me speculating. Now in terms of software, Samsung promised 4 years of Android updates and 5 years of security updates, which is pretty much on brand with Samsung at the moment. One UI 5 is within the A54 and it has held up fairly well. It's not really the best version of Android for me, but it has its perks in terms of customizations, and it also has the ability to make sure that your phone is more unique than others. Battery life is pretty good, and there's not really much to talk about. It has a 5,000 mAh of battery, which is similar to the A53 from last year. It also has a 25-watt charging and will easily get you through a full day of use, and even then some depending on how busy you are with your phone. Now at this point, great battery life and the Galaxy A54 are pretty much synonymous with each other. The cameras are a different story, and I want to compare the A54 to the Pixel 7a for this category. Now the Pixel devices are known for having great cameras, from flagship all the way down to the mid-range phones. Now with Samsung, there is a lot to be desired. Daylight pictures hold up pretty well on both phones, but with more saturation on the A54. But the Pixel 7a offers better quality in sharpness, dynamic range, and skin tone. The ultra-wide lens provides more detail on the 7a, while the A54 produced softer images. Then again, if you don't use the ultra-wide that well, I don't think you will care much. Portrait mode is where the Pixel blows the A54 out of the water. Now there is more depth of field on the Pixel, it is more clearer and offers better color balance than the Galaxy A54. With both of these phones lacking a telephoto lens, they use a digital crop, which in my opinion is pretty close and very subjective. Low light images are also better on the Pixel with night sight. The A54 struggles to identify the main subjects from the background. Now with video, they are really the same with each other, as the Pixel is not really known for having good video, while the Galaxy A54 does what it needs to do. Honestly, my time with the Galaxy A54 has been a very good experience. Now the only thing that will make me drop this phone and continue using the Pixel devices is the camera and the performance. Look, summer is almost here, so I need my phone to capture all those candid moments both in daytime and at night. So that's been it. Thank you guys for watching this video, and if you're deciding between the Pixel 7a and the Pixel 7, click right here, and if you've seen that video, I have other videos on the channel and I hope to see you there.